Another all-new episode of Carolina Sports Talk starts now.
Can y'all feel that? Can you feel that thing that's oozing out your doggone hands? That thing is beating your doggone chest right now. Can you feel that?
And once again, it's on. Welcome back to another episode of Carolina Sports Talk. Thank you for hitting us up on your favorite podcast app. Next time, tell your smart speaker, play Carolina Sports Talk. You can hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all of that everywhere that you think we ought to be. We already there. Once again, welcome in my main man and yours, DJ Highstar, in the building. Now, DJ Highstar, if you would, let them know which building we are in.
Ooh, excuse me.
Yeah.
A little frog in my throat. Pause. But broadcasting live from Club Shed, man.
And we out here, baby. Let's go. Club Shed in the building. So, DJ Highstar, you got a lot of your DJ origins and anchors from right here in Club Shed, man. Tell the folks how you even got started off out here, and you know what I mean, how we rock from there.
Just my but just my mentor. You can hear the Velcro. Just my mentor. This place. So when he first knew that I had an interest in DJing, he brought me back here, and previously it was all records back here. All of the walls in here were lined with crates of records. And let's see here. Go ahead and turn me off over there, brother.
Yeah, we good.
Sorry, I'm good. But so it was lined with crates, records in here and stuff like that. And unbeknownst to us, we had something called the pandemic coming along, and we wasn't aware the need that we were going to have for the neighborhood kind of camaraderie or fellowship and stuff like that. So Derek put like a little bar back here, and the rest was history. We already had the equipment, the music and stuff, and the speakers. So, it became a little speakeasy for the neighborhood, if you know type of thing. And, we all through the pandemic, as safely as possible, partied out here. And it wasn't a lot of socially distanced folk, but nevertheless, I digress. Yeah, man. But listen, let's catch up though, man. I'm repping my New York stuff. So I got my Yankee,
go New York,
and then my Knicks orange. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Keep the orange. I saw the hat. I was going to mention that,
put it down. Right?
Shout
out to our early viewers too. They excited already to be in here.
Shout out to Nephew Jones, my dog, representing the 843. Yeah. If y'all ain't checking out his music, man, you're missing out. Make sure you go check him out on all platforms. But all that being said and done, let's get to some sports, because
we're not going to say like how you've been or anything like that. It's been a little minute, bro.
They don't care about me. They want sports.
Before the sports, real quick, bro. I want to acknowledge, because the last time that we were on air, I made a bold challenge out there. We were talking about
man of you. Go ahead, stand on it.
We were talking about the Super Bowl, and we were rehashing some things about how the halftime Super Bowl show came about. And I put that challenge out there, and the challenge was accepted. And one of our avid listeners, one of our loyal supporters, Amy 22, as they call her, she definitely responded. And you definitely got a swag pack on the way, especially, inclusive of your Carolina Sports Talk hoodie vibe.
What else?
Definitely gonna have that in there. Couple DJ Highstar.
DJ
Highstar insignia as far as your stickers and your magnets, the keychain. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get all the Carolina Sports Talk stuff from Big Cliff. I'm gonna try to get some Clinton stuff from him too. I did say I was gonna throw in the Claflin situation for you too, Amy. You know what I mean? You know, it's all love. So
Might have to get a little wristband or something from the bookstore.
Listen, that gift pack is going to be nice. I heard through the podcast grapevines about a little pound cakes and situations that's going on in Florida. So I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make sure the gift package is nice so that when I request these pound cakes,
there ain't nothing to say but what time and when. You know what I'm saying? Type status.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, talking about pound cakes, man, there's a whole lot of money being made. I don't know how that was
exactly, bro. Because I was going to ask you how you've been, Mr. Cliff Vitale. You still want to get into the sports? I want to talk. We're going to address this elephant in the room, audience. All right, we haven't been. Now, I do point of order. I was in CIAA 2 weeks ago. I wrote into the DJ Blaze show. You held it down on the DJ Blaze show for us this past weekend.
Kick it with him, yeah.
I got your kicks.
Hey,
and all right.
And y'all save that for often.
So the week that I was at CIAA, there was a lot of low country basketball going on, or Carolina basketball going on. In other words, playoff high school basketball. And bruh,
I forgot about that.
But let me just say and give you your flowers here, because on our group chat for the bruhs, they did Brother Best from Fall 93. He did shout you out and had a screenshot of you from, like, I guess they had a shot of you on TV doing your announcing thing. And so, yeah, Cliff Vitale was out there checking out all the talent, expanding his brand. And, the kids is probably asking for autographs after a while, bro. You got like a little extended stay or something out there in Florence, didn't you?
I did. I spent the week of.
Oh, you literally did.
Yeah, like I was in Florence for the week of the semifinals for Lower State and Upper State, which were held in Florence at the Florence Center, and then through the weekend for the state championships. Had the opportunity. I was blessed to announce for all of those games, 20 total games that I did through that. And then following the following weekend, right back there for the PD Area All-Star Classic. So yes, we have not been on the air, but we out here working. We out here busy, trying to build a brand, make sure folks know.
I look forward to the future DJ gig that I get out there at the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
they got to open the budget up.
I would love to have had that happen, especially because yours truly was responsible.
That's what I was just about to say. But look, football too. You know what I'm saying? That's why I just said what I said. These schools need to open up the budget because they double duty in. Why you there? You don't got no playlist that you can put on real quick?
Now, and I'm not gonna throw no shade at nobody, but there are very stark contrasts in the playlist between announcers, and so what I was finding myself kind of being in the position to do is like, y'all gonna have him back again? When your next game? And everybody was just like kind of not loving at all the other announcers' playlist.
Everybody dance now.
So it was a little bit different out there, but nevertheless, shout out to all the state champions throughout South Carolina and North Carolina. You know what I mean? We'll talk a little basketball in a little
later, but still, you gotta address that, man. You've been busy, bro.
Grinding, man. But we gonna get the sports now. Can we talk football? I'm excited about
Learn
football.
How to accept compliments, man.
Nah, I don't know how to do that yet.
I'm telling you to.
I hear you. I appreciate you, my dog.
Right.
This is Carolina Sports Talk. It's your man, Big Cliff, sitting in with my dog, DJ High Star. We are here live in Club Shed, Charlotte, North Carolina. Man, without further ado, can we now talk about sports? Enough about us. You feel me?
Man.
I mean, if we want to keep talking, we can talk about your glasses because I'm sharp. I like them. But
it's calm.
Free agency has begun in the National Football League. There's so many places to start. I actually just want to go ahead and jump in with the Carolina Panthers. We know that new general manager, former player, Mr. Dan the Man Morgan, one of my favorite linebackers of all time for the Carolina Panthers, is cleaning house. There have been many who thought that, all we need is only if we had and Dan Morgan said, that's not the case. And one thing that kind of led, as I started thinking about what he was doing, how he was doing it, he was a part of that squad that went 2-15, and then in 2 years made the very first Super Bowl appearance for the Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
And so he knows what it looks like from an internal perspective.
No, because you got to continue because people are trying to distract us out there. Do you know who Upper Hoops is?
I think so, yeah.
Dope Digitals, yeah.
Yeah.
That's his new mask, all right?
But ultimately, Dan Morgan has a plan. And I know we've been through this countless times in the last several years. But at the end of the day, what do you feel? Let's start there. What do you feel about the plan that Dan Morgan is doing with literally cleaning house and building what he can through the free agency and then ultimately through the draft as well?
Realistically, I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel with that. I mean, I think we're like, when our situation is parallel to a lot of other teams at the moment. We were talking about it a little bit yesterday with a Giants fan and stuff like that. And it's
Patriots
like,
fans.
You know, I'll put it like this.
Okay.
I was in the DMV area this past 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? That was my Florence. But I was in MGM Casino, and they got me to download the little Bet MGM app or whatever. It's not an ad. It's not an ad at all. But on there, I just kind of just flirting around with free bets that they gave me, right? Went into the futures, right? And I went to the Super Bowl. And I went hypothetically to put $20 on the Carolina Panthers, and it yielded like $2 million or something like that. Free money.
Free.
And I still did not. I still didn't. So that just lets you know exactly where I stand at with it all, bro. Free bet money, and I still did not go with the Panthers. I was like, well, that's going to be a waste of a bet.
Literally, this year, by far, no doubt in my mind, waste.
And you know how you hear those stories and stuff like that? I was just like, that's not going to be the Panthers, though. That story.
The first.
Yeah, like, oh, who knew that the Cardinals would be in the NFC Championship game? And no.
So the only hope that I have is that, again, Dan Morgan has seen it happen. I think that he's a level-headed enough from being both the former player, and I know this is literally what we said last year with Frank being, the former quarterback's going to come back. Defense has always been the calling card of the Carolina Panthers. I understand that as we take a look at kind of what has transpired throughout this free agency period in the early, which actually just started yesterday, we have so far released Bradley Bozeman, Von Bell, and Hayden Hurst. We've seen depart in free agency.
Tight end Hayden Hurst, right?
Yes, who was just a waste of talent. From what he was at Carolina and even during his time in the Bengals, and with wasted talent, man. Unfortunate, but he's gone. Frankie Louvu has departed, signing with the Washington Commanders. Gross Matos is now a San Francisco 49er.
Respect the man's name.
Giovanni Ricci is Cleveland Brown as we continue to just decimate.
Yeah, what, like, are we going to have the replacements next year? Like, what?
No, but here's the thing. It's to be expected simply because the team wasn't very good. And although the defense was the strength of the team, the team overall wasn't good. And with so many of the mistakes that have been made up until this point, they have to do something to try to, one, compensate and get draft picks back, two, get younger, and three, not over-invest. But I don't even know that it's so much a build around Bryce, because all of the moves that have been made so far are moves that are to improve the team, not necessarily to improve the team with him as an anchor. If next year Bryce isn't that guy and shows that he's not,
like, yo, you're on notice too.
I feel like this team and this management rather is not fully committed to him as a player. And so I wouldn't be surprised if after next year we are looking for a long-term quarterback, especially with knowing that your Shadors will be coming out at that point. And there's a lot of other players that would be available if we don't have the season we're looking forward to. But again, some of the other departures, we've traded headliner Brian Burns to the New York Giants. Definitely, and it even says here in this particular article, for minimal draft compensation. What are your thoughts on, in 22, the LA, not Chargers, but the Rams offering as much as 3 first-round picks, and ultimately we not getting 1 in return for him when we finally do trade him in 24?
It speaks for itself, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Are you kidding me? Like, I mean, but these type of things happen all the time in the business. And it's why those, people get paid the big bucks to make those type of decisions, tough decisions. We we spoke about it yesterday, like the parallels between Saquon and Christian McCaffrey's career, as far as like with them being where they were, it was like a foregone conclusion. You're going to have an early career, and your career is going to end early. You're going to carry the team on your shoulders, so you're going to get a bunch of stats, but never be like considered an MVP because your team will never, reach certain levels of success. And then you are granted an opportunity with organizations that protect their guys that's behind the center or whatnot, and protect the guys that's in the backfield. And it's going to be it should be a different situation. So, even with what we did with that, it feels like almost like we're doing that with Brian Burns. Like it's just going to help Washington get stronger or whatever like that, and help them build. But
right,
with what Jones is saying and stuff like that, I really just agree with what he's saying. Really, is no other options right now other than cleaning house and stuff. But
and he mentioned it again here in his comment, talking about coming off of that 12 at his peak highest value.
Right,
it didn't make sense for us to trade him based on the belief and trust of what they thought they were going to be able to do as a franchise.
Right,
you hold on to players like that because they can be linchpins, especially during their rookie contract, especially as you have that optimism towards the future. But
absolutely,
with knowing where we are, and just honestly that there is no way to patch it or fix it in so many instances. And sometimes you just got to burn the house down and start completely over. And I really feel like that's where we are. And even
it's not a Band-Aid, it's like an amputation or something.
Exactly. And even with the signings, if we take a look at those, first major signing they had was the guard Robert Hunt, formerly out of Miami, 5 years, $100 million. Guard Damian Lewis, 4 years, 53. They've got linebacker Josie Jewell. I think he was formerly with I forget where he was, but 3 year, 222.7. Ashawn Robinson, Dane Jackson from Buffalo. So they're making some good moves right now. And these are all sound players who at least have some name notoriety. Robert Hunt's going to be a monster. The fact that they've released our previous center, moved our guard over into the center position, and now we've got this dynamic guard. Hopefully Icky can turn out to be somebody that's definitely worth it. Thank you for that. Josie Jewell was with Denver. That's where he was. And so we've got players. The one thing, we're essentially going to have a new team. And so as we're thinking about that, what if you had to just kind of put your Sportstradamus cap on, what do you think is going to be the look of the Carolina Panthers? Are we going to be a run and gun team offensively?
I got you. I got the question. I got you.
Watch him. Go ahead.
The thing that's been successful for us in the past is a fast defense. So we need an anchor at D. I would be interested to know if a person like Dan Morgan, who has seen the Panthers have success with a good anchored tight end, won't build around a great perspective tight end or something out of free agency where tight end is a key part of our offense. Mm-hmm. And outside of that, offensively, they're going to have to just adapt to what's going on in the league. As far as quarterbacks go, whether white or black, you're going to just need, right now, of course, Bryce Young will have to continue to stretch plays or whatnot, extend the play by getting out of the pocket and stuff like that. So certain, what do they call those? Not boots, but the, whenever they get, out
of the pocket, bootleg.
Huh?
It is bootleg. Bootleg out of the pockets.
Those type of plays and stuff like that, I could see him doing, or a lot of type of like RPO stuff where it's just going to give Carolina different options quickly. Because with him being short and stuff like that, he's not going to be able to stand in the pocket for long, for like 5-step drops and wait for routes and stuff like that. Not right now.
Right. Way too early. Give me a number, just literally just a number answer. And we can do it again after way too early. I said so. We'll do it again after the draft and then at the beginning of training camp. But your way too early prediction. How many games do the Panthers win next
3.
season? That is way too low, and I am going to say that we win 6 games next year. Nephew Jones.
You've done this for 3 years now on Carolina Sports Talk.
I think we're back to the run and get some fast wide receivers for quick passes, anything to make Bryce more. And that's an ideal thing. We've seen that they already have gotten re-signing one of our wide receivers. We also have wide receivers. Wide receivers. Shout out to JJ Jansen. I got to give this guy some love. About at least 10 years ago, probably even longer than that, I had an exchange back and forth on Twitter with JJ Jansen
about the barbecue sauce.
No, that was old boy daddy.
Oh my gosh,
Joe Horn. Listen, I can't help it that NFL players want to try me on Twitter. What do you want me to do? But no, so Joe Horn has tried me about the barbecue sauce and tried to sell me some sauce.
Twitter exchanges.
Me and Ryan Clark had it back and forth when they were coming back from. But nonetheless, JJ Jansen was like raffling off a pair of his cleats, and I said to him, "Who?" And never thinking that he was going to reply, it's like, "I'm the long snapper for the Carolina Panthers." Little did I know that this long snapper would be snapping for quite so long. Hey, yo. But so he's now the longest tenured Panther in history. He has recently signed for one more year to extend his lead over formerly the holder, John Casey. But nonetheless, shout out to him. Again, we talked about the guards. We talked about the wide receivers. One of the new ones that's coming in, though, Diontae Johnson. Mr. Butterfingers drops McGee himself. What are your thoughts on watch her 3? Amy, don't do it. What are your thoughts on Diontae Johnson? Do you like the signing? Do you not like it? And you guys make sure you keep those comments coming live on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram live. What are your thoughts, DJ Highstar, on Diontae Johnson?
Right now, we need players that are looking to prove their value and their worth. So we can't land the biggest free agents out there because then they're going to be like, what? Carolina, what? Why? You know what I'm saying? So we need those type of players. That's what I thought we were kind of getting, or why I was optimistic with Adam Thielen as well. And just like out here in the regular world, all you need is kind of like one yes. So all they need is like one spark, pause, or connection between Young and Johnson and figure that they kind of got something. And he can look like a totally different player. I mean, he's got some good speed, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, he's definitely got the speed. He's got the tools, pause. But just hadn't been able to put it all together.
Right. So, and then again, we got to consider Pittsburgh's situation as well, and people, delivering. But nevertheless, I'm cautiously optimistic.
I don't care. When I say I don't care,
so why'd you even ask?
I mean, I don't not care about what you're saying. I don't care about him.
About the question, yeah.
No, I care about the question. And this is my answer to it.
Gotcha.
I don't care about him because ultimately the offensive line for me is going to be the biggest thing, but I hope that he has the ability to catch a football. We've seen what it looks like to have folks overrun, underrun, and not be able to catch, but hopefully he can get that speed, and we know Bryce has the arm to get it out there to him. Nephew says it's very low risk, high reward trade. He has the potential to stand out, and we hope that he does, as long as they are not asking him to be a number one. You mentioned Adam Thielen. Bringing in older players who had a whole lot of abilities and have made the numbers seems to be a trend here in Carolina, as they also are looking to, it's been reported that Jadeveon Clowney will be coming in for a visit. I'm interested in seeing if he's got anything in the tank, but one of my buddies on Facebook said, he's 2 years too late. He should have been a Panther before he left to go to Baltimore, and even before that year with the Browns. That's when he should have come home, and I think he would have been able to regain his form. Just being in a comfort zone, I think he would have been better. I hope that if he does sign, that he's not trash anymore. But moving forward, let's talk about a little bit about some of the other free agent signings. We mentioned it. You alluded to it earlier. Saquon Barkley is no longer a member of the Giants, heading across the division to the Philadelphia Eagles. There has also been a trade in New England, sending their quarterback down to Jacksonville to be the backup quarterback there.
And
Kirk Cousins has signed with the Atlanta Falcons. But of all of the other big free agent moves, which one kind of stands out to you? Hopefully I didn't take any of the ones that you were going to say, but what's kind of the biggest free agent move that's kind of caught your eye and attention from there.
Exactly.
Get it out.
You see the polo, right?
No,
The color, the hue.
no,
Do you see the color of my shirt? The
No.
hue? You do. Clearly, you do.
I don't. Are
However,
you alluding to Russell Wilson going?
ride? Because I can't remember what the slogan or whatever is. The ride, Bronco Country. Let's ride, or whatever it was. But yeah, he took a ride and left Bronco Country. Yeah, that we saw the writing on the wall, of course, with that.
Mhm.
But with that whole signing, so he signed to Pittsburgh. With that whole move, can you cue up the I Get Money, I guess?
Absolutely.
The 50. But if you know the exact numbers, I guess, 85 million, I want to say, that he was kind of the guaranteed money that that Denver's on the line for.
86 million is what they owe him, and essentially he's signed in now in Pittsburgh for $1 million. Is what it's
And they take the one.
It's nuts. It's almost like baseball, where baseball will literally say, "Hey, we'll pay you $100 million not to play for us."
Yeah,
Like,
to get on out of here.
yeah, we'll holler. Essentially, that's what Denver said. But I will say this: we alluded to it. Y'all hear us talking about conversations here in the shed. Sports conversations go down, but we were here pregame, like kind of pre-planned, pre-show planning and pre-gaming, and talked about it yesterday. I honestly believe that argument and that blow up on the sidelines in Denver was designed to try to get him out of his character and give them a reason to get rid of him.
Almost. He alluded to it so many times too. Yeah.
And now you see that it's like, yo,
Yeah.
that was kind of
So
grimy.
when we see Vice has a certain special on the dark side of, and it'll be like the dark side of comedy, the dark side of 90s, all that. They have the dark side of wrestling, and there's a consistent darkness with all of these wrestlers, right? Because there was one point where that was their dream and everything like that. Then they realized their dream. Then they realized their dream wasn't what it was.
What they thought it was.
So big shout out to A-Liz once again. Of course, Jones right there. We want to just highlight his, you know what I mean? His quote right there. But you were on DJ Blaze podcast this past week. You got to do the regular show, and then you did their list show as well.
Mm-hmm.
While on their list show, the title was Villains. One of your main villains was the NFL, and I love the choice. Yeah, I loved it.
Villains that you love
in real time, because I heard how frustrated Be Easy was when you said it. He like, dog, you can't. Because you was like, I mean, I know it's not a movie, but it is TV.
And he told me TV a movie. He's gonna rewrite the question.
So, and I was like, yo, you on point with that, because I was just Colin Kaepernick, of course, right? Because he settled, right? He settled. So there's paperwork and litigation and stuff like that. Then you had Brian Flores, I want to say, with the Miami situation. That was Brian Flores, right? Yeah. So you had that. And then you have this Russell Wilson situation come up. And I don't know
Go for it. Go ahead.
Okay, the caucasity of a Sean Payton. You told me to go for it.
I did.
To be as bold, he said I did. To be as bold to like do all of this, and I mean, and maybe he's just the face. Maybe I'm just blaming him as the face, and the organization as a whole has a.
But he played his part. He's the head coach.
Exactly.
So nonetheless,
so
even if it came from up top, he still participated.
Right.
So blame him.
And it's like, yeah, you can't hide the truth. In other words, so like you see how plain, calm, reserved, meek that Russell can explain and elocute himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody else seems flustered. Oh, we're just doing bad, and he wasn't the right guy at the right time, the right fit. It's like, okay, all right.
Imagine if that was Cam Newton and they went to pull up in his face and argue and yell in his face like that. I ain't saying Cam would fight them, but it would have been a lot different, and they would have won. And I think if nothing else, it's a lesson to be able to hold your peace sometimes. There was a situation, we'll talk about it a little bit later, at the conference tournament for Clinton College, where there was another head coach intentionally antagonizing those of us who were working at the table. He and I had already previously gotten into a little altercation when they visited us at a regular season home game. And I just made a decision in that moment to ignore him and not partake in it. And doing so allowed me a chance to literally keep my job at that point. And I thought about it and I was like, it may look like the punk move, but I'm just really not about that rah-rah at some time because if I fight, I'm trying to, but nonetheless.
A great example of that.
What's that?
The guys had the experience to go through the early 2000s in Philly and is now in Kansas City. But Andy Reid managing Travis Kelce in that situation on the sideline where he was focused enough to know, look, we got a goal at the end of the day. I could do a bunch of stuff that would quote unquote be like diplomatically correct or correct for the cameras where I'm showing, my, that I'm the leader of this team and that you know what I'm saying? That you never go against the boss or be subordinate, but you know what? I'm going to choose. You get your moment right now. You see Eddie Reid just looking straight at he like,
I hear you going about your business because I'm not, it's not.
Exactly. Even the little baby shove, from his momentum and stuff, it's like, okay, all right, are you done? Mm-hmm. Are you done? Are you done? All right, trips right. You know what I mean?
Exactly, back to business. Yes, sir. As we talk about that, they made a move that has turned around their franchise with all of this free agency that's going on. Which team do you think improved the most through free agency so far?
I didn't think that they could, but I'll say with one move, Baltimore kind of, solidify that they'll be in the conversation this upcoming year. I would say Philly, but Philly has much more fractured stuff than we realize. And like the way that they went out of the playoffs gave them like an out or like an excuse to not have to address their real like downfall or like the real collapse, in other words, toward the end of the season that they had.
Yeah, shout out to Nephew saying the Texans, they definitely made some moves as well. The Houston Texans have signed Joe Mixon, tight end Dalton Schultz. They got cornerback Jeff Okudah, edge rusher Danielle Hunter, cornerback Mike Ford, Desmond King. They went out and got some dogs. Yeah. And this is already on top of what they've built through the draft. We know that they got the top 2 of the top 3 picks last year. The Houston Texans are definitely going to be a force to reckon with next year. Along that similar lines, the team for me that I think has improved their chances more for next year, the Cleveland Browns. We know that Deshaun Watson went out on injury, and defensively and offensively, they were primed at the beginning of last season to make a playoff run. But when he went out, it completely changed their trajectory in the course of their season. But they have gone this year and shored up the backup quarterback position. They went and signed Jameis Winston. They also got some more weapons and adding Jerry Jeudy, guard Michael Dunn, edge rusher Zadarius Smith. So a good defense has gotten better, a good offense, and now has their leader at the helm and a good quality backup. Because quiet as it's kept, Jameis Winston is a good quarterback.
I was just about to say.
Jameis Winston is a quarterback.
I was just about to say.
Crab legs, say what you want about him, as jokey as he is.
And I could get on my soapbox tinfoil hat stuff. And the only way that they'd like to see us succeed is if we stealing crab legs and making silly jokes on TV in the post game, but but quiet as kept. He keeps the contract. I was going to ask you to put to play I Get Money one more time because him and Kirk Cousins will keep a contract.
But that's apples and oranges because his money. He just like
I agree.
They recognize his talent. His leadership isn't there, and he's also prone to make the mistakes. Yeah, but they recognize the talent.
Okay, we're going to bring
Kirk Cousins just robbing people. With all the guaranteed money that cat has gotten through the years, he's just out here robbing folks.
Stick him up.
Yeah. Give me your money. And they continue to do so. So I hope that the Atlanta Falcons...
He represents himself?
No.
Okay.
No. But whoever his agents are...
Exactly.
They earning their money. But I think the Atlanta Falcons have improved. They had a nucleus last year that was positioned for them to actually, make a little bit of noise, fold it down the line. I think with Kirk Cousins, they will win, unfortunately, a lot of regular season games.
And they lose elevate Kyle Pitts play?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Especially with having Bijan at the running back position, and now having a quarterback who can do the dink and dunks, who can also push it down the field. Because Kurt is an accurate quarterback. Like if I'm being transparent, he has the ability to place balls in places where only his receiver can get them, and that's what allows him to be who he is through the regular season. It's not until they move into postseason play that, so much like how Peyton Manning was for a large portion of his career, the best regular season quarterback, but then when it came to the playoff, kind of fold a little bit. But I think that they will win a bunch again throughout the regular season. And then thank you for Amy telling us the Falcons still got that Mike Root vid on them. Mike Vick Root on them. Is that better for you? Pause. But yeah, so the Falcons have signed Kirk Cousins, Darnell Mooney, who's quiet, short-handed little receiver, and then also gotten Rondale Moore via trade with the Cardinals. And so everybody seems to be happy with what their moves are so far, except the Patriots. and you're kind of happy with the Panthers? Yeah. No, I it's literally why I'm garbed out. It's a foundational move that, no, we're going to suck this year. Pause. But we will be better in the future. Shout out to my Neo, my dog, Travis Barnes, celebrating recently 1 year happy matrimony. Shout out to the bros. Time moves fast, brother. Congrats to y'all, though. Congrats, bro. Literally. But I think that the moves that we're making now, especially with the offensive line moves, even if Bryce sucks, he's out of there next year, and we're still in position to be able to be a better franchise as a result right afterwards, too. So. First of all, get your knees. Now here come the young bros. Shout out to our dog TJ representing the home team. Yeah, you better quit. But nonetheless, this is Carolina Sports Talk. It's your man Big Cliff sitting in with DJ Highstar. We are live on location, Club Shed, Charlotte, North Carolina. Any other moves you want to talk about before we get rid of this or get off of pause? NFL? Yeah. No. No. So for NBA, we're going to move into our NBA coverage. We will talk a little bit about that. We're going to do something a little different today with our NBA coverage. We're going to play a game of word association hosted by DJ Highstar. Take it over. Still working on the background music. Word association. No. I'm really going to record that for you. I'm definitely recording that, and I'm getting the Surf's Up theme behind it. The whole nine is coming. Pause. Okay. All right. Cool. Nothing. Whatever. Yeah, exactly. So let's first. Okay, I'm going to start off with Wardell Stephen Curry. And the word that comes to mind when I hear him. Mine is happy birthday. All right. Happy birthday to the young man. All right. Okay. That's how we're going to kick it off. That's all I got for now. Right. That's all I can do right now. Literally. The resources that I have. That's the one I wanted. To him. I don't care. Good luck. Literally. No. If GOAT though. GOAT. I wanted to say GOAT shooter, but that's 2 words. Okay, that's 2 words. GOAT shooter. Okay. There we go. Bron 40K fueled by Balco. That's my word association. Okay, give me something that we can work with. Nonsense, be it like what fraudulent. Oh, okay. Explain. Or just keep it at 1 word. What's fraudulent though? What? The claims against him, you saying? Yeah. Okay. Because all right. I'm literally about to pull a DJ Highstar because as I'm formulating my argument in my mind, it's literally making the argument for them. How is that? Yo, we'll talk after the show, bro. How is that a DJ Highstar? Because go ahead. Go ahead. We don't have to give it. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. We know that LeBron has been a naturally gifted athlete from the jump. We've also talked about how many millions Will this get us canceled? Probably. Okay. We also talked about how much money he's put into his body and how much science that he puts into himself through all of the years. And that's why I said, as I started thinking about it and getting ready to say it, don't call it a DJ Highstar. But we never asked the question of what kind of science he was putting into his body and or what they were doing. We knew that he's the athlete. We see him training, He's always in peak form, and never stopped literally at any point before just now, stopped to think about what he was doing to maintain and to keep and to play at such a high level for over 20, for nearly now over 20 years, 21 this year. What am I? You know what? That is a great question, TJ Lewis. His question says, "What are you insinuating?" Looking eye emoji. So let's go ahead and not say that I am insinuating it. LeBron James is in consideration for being one of the greatest basketball players of all times because he be doping.
There it is. Mic drop.
Your thoughts, your word.
Hey, I brought up the question. No. But he has been just like, healthy, and everybody's been like everybody has given the excuse, kind of these David Goggins excuses. Like, he takes ice baths in the morning, and he's just good. And
load management.
At that level of money, you do stuff that could be discreet, So I just want to question it. I don't want to start no trouble.
So I will say transparently, I've not heard it before. Is that something that's in the news now, or is are there rumors out there now or something, or are we just making it up and everybody gonna run with it?
I heard it on like 2 other podcasts, and so I just wanted to ask the question to see.
Okay. Shout out to my dog KP up in Detroit. Say what up, though? I was viewing on IG.
What up, though?
Well, welcome in to the chat here on Facebook and YouTube Live. We are Carolina Sports Talk on all those platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. You can only comment apparently on Instagram and on YouTube and Facebook. But shout out to my dog nonetheless. Shout out to the bros. Divine says no more locked doors.
No more locked doors.
Listen.
Thank you.
LeBron's gonna be behind some locked doors if this truth comes out, like if it really is like a thing.
All right.
Now I got to go do some research. I got to go make some calls.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna continue on with word association.
Word association.
Player with the biggest "I'm here" moment this season. Y'all see the UFE in the background.
Yeah, you tell me who's yours. Pause.
It's going between SGA and Halliburton.
I think SGA is a good pick, and that's why I wanted you to go, because I couldn't think of his name. A lot of people, including yours truly, have him in MVP conversations.
Yeah,
just at the consistent high level that he's playing. But I'm taking it back. You can have Shea. You know who I'm going for? G.G. Jackson. My dog representing the Carolinas has gone to the league and taken it by force. Now, he's had some ups and downs, but he is playing at a high level consistently, just as yours truly mentioned that he would have that opportunity to do with Ja Morant out of the lineup. So shout out to Gigi. He's definitely saying, that 1 year of not as high production at Carolina wasn't who he is, and he's truly showing the world the level of talents that he had. So next one up. You sitting here reading the comments. We're going to get
don't even post my LB's comments.
Shout out to my little cuz. Leander says, makes all the records and asterisk for now. Absolutely. Until he's guilty until proven innocent, cuz you are absolutely right.
You're talking to a scoring Lakers fan. You didn't bring back enough ROI with y'all?
No. That little bubble chip does not count.
It doesn't
count.
He got an in-game. He got an in-season tournament for y'all, too.
The first one. So, I mean, that's them little baby checks. I need a big one. If he win it, pause. Hey, yo.
Okay,
if he wins this year. I mean, well, hey, just in case. And the records of realness is not going to be recorded. That, it didn't. So nonetheless, as we get back to sports, do you have any more word association?
I do.
Let's get it. Let's go.
Bigger threat to miss the playoffs, Warriors or Lakers?
My word association for this.
No comment.
Neither.
Got you. So, and I like the answer. I like
now playing tournaments, both, but missing the playoffs, neither.
What do you mean? Huh?
They'll both likely be in a playing game.
And then what?
Nothing. Playing games are still technically the playoffs.
I see what you're saying. Okay. Be easy. I get exactly where you're coming from now, brother.
Hey,
right?
relax.
There you go. So the NFL is not technically a villain because it's not a movie. You did say TV products.
Technicalities. It is what it is.
Yeah. Oh gosh, they going back and forth.
They're literally just having fun in the comments.
Yeah,
all right, next one up. Or no,
last
association for you.
Okay.
Were more likely to miss the playoffs, Los Angeles Lakers or San Francisco Warriors?
The Lakers. I'm sorry that took so long for y'all. I just wanted to give a dramatic,
You ain't got the answers, man.
parenthetical
You ain't
pause,
got the
I think they
answers.
call it. That's
You
all I
ain't got
wanted
the
to do.
answers. You
It
ain't
ain't
got
no
the answers.
surprise what I was going to pick. You know what I'm
Hey.
saying? That Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah.
Loss.
Yeah, get y'all a point guard. But anyway, next up, word association.
New York Knicks. We need a word, not onomatopoeia, sir.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the word association.
Yes,
Knicks.
bruh.
Point guard.
I'll go first.
No, I already said it. Point guard. Get one. Go for it. Next up.
Jalen Brunson, but proud. Okay, proud. That's my word.
Here's the
association.
thing. I forget who it was, but somebody was saying recently that Jalen Brunson isn't the point. He's not the superstar that's going to get you a championship. I believe that you all are stockpiling these draft picks to be able to trade him and or those to actually get somebody. I really want y'all to come get. I'll take Jalen Brunson. Y'all can have LeBron. Give me all of them picks y'all got. Jalen Brunson, whomever else. Let me get Spike Lee, and y'all can have LeBron.
Who is your point guard?
Who is ours now?
No, who would your point guard be
What if we give
in that
LeBron?
situation? If y'all get Jalen Brunson and stuff.
No, we can just trade him. I'm just trying to help y'all and get rid of LeBron. That's all of that.
Proud.
And why are you proud of Jalen Brunson, sir?
No, the New York Knicks was the word association.
But
Proud.
You said, okay. You're proud because y'all are
I
finally
was
winning.
responding to you when you, I'm gonna get a point guard. I'm gonna get a point guard.
As we proceed, next one.
Exactly. No. That concluded for right now.
That concludes our word association.
Okay, one more.
Okay, go ahead.
How should I word this? LeBron's.
Well, that was going to be a big deal, no thing. So let's word it as a big deal, no thing. Go.
Huh?
Let's do it as a big deal, no thing.
Okay, so big deal, no thing. LeBron getting in his feels about Bronny's coverage when it comes to on the national media, sports media scene.
Nah,
That's
that ain't
a
no
big
thing.
deal.
You're funny style, man. I'm going with no thing, but you're funny style.
That ain't no thing.
If
So
y'all
here's-
heard him, audience, he did both.
I literally did both because it's not a big deal, but it's expected. That's his son.
Exactly.
And so it's not a big deal to me that he's saying it, but it's a big deal that he's actually opening his mouth and saying it. I think that it's also a little bit of tempering expectations because he know Bronny suck a little bit. And so he's trying to temper the communications and the conversations so that folks be like, yo, let this young man develop. Let him be the freshman in college that he is rather than my son who's a freshman in college.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead.
Yeah, no, similar. I think it's no thing because again, he's a father. His first time on camera, or being how should I put it? Like being recorded as being a father, right? Like LeVar Balls of the world, and stuff like that. Like he is being documented being a father of Bronny James and not LeBron James, the superstar we all know him as, and stuff like that. So it's no thing to me because of that. To what you said, it's kind of expected behavior.
So my dad is a pastor. My dad has an infectious personality, much similar to some of the traits that I possess myself. Growing
Don't
up,
have an infectious person. Go ahead, bro.
meanwhile, growing up, there were rarely times that we could go anywhere in the city of Charleston and somebody didn't know my dad. And it caused me to have a perspective not only of him, but of what I ought to have been as well in a lot of ways. I can remember one particular time my dad was a firefighter growing up. We were going on this trip. We were down in North Charleston, and this guy came. It's like, yo, Cliff, that's you. Oh, man, I ain't seen you since high. And went on and on and on and on and on. And I was like, oh, my daddy been the man. And that's in Charleston. And my daddy ain't famous. I can only scratch the surface of beginning to fathom what LeBron James Jr. has to go through as the son of LeBron James. And couple that with the fact that you are trying to follow in his footsteps with the direct career that he has become one of the all-time greats at. We talked about it before with like Shaquille O'Neal's sons and now his daughter, or even with Michael Jordan and his sons, and how none of them had the ability. Bronny has the ability to be a good basketball player.
Right.
And so even when I say he sucked a little bit, it's that he's not LeBron. He's not the second coming. Right. And I think these efforts that LeBron has made have begun to try to separate that from people's minds so that they don't have all of that pressure on, because they don't have all of that pressure on him, because that pressure can, in some ways, prohibit him from even reaching the potential that he fully has to be the best that he can be, let alone what these people want. You know what I mean? From him as LeBron James.
It's like I hate to say it, but I'll see him being like I just had it, but kind of like because Isaiah Thomas was still tough, but like I was gonna say like a Sebastian Telfair or like a OJ Mayo. And I really get the OJ Mayo thing because of the school and stuff like that as well. But but that's why, I can see it as that. Like, like even to your point, what Gigi's doing right now, it's like people, they didn't put that expectation on him though. You know what I'm saying? So now he's overperforming or exceeding, where we in the South, in the Carolinas, we already knew what he could do and the potential what he had. And this is like reversed, where it's flipped. Like everybody expects for him to have this, fulfilled potential and stuff like that, where LeBron knows what his ceiling is perhaps, and has to be more realistic with that type of stuff. And then like with nowadays, they're going to try to rush everything. So I think LeBron understands that if he develops, that he can end up being like a Drew Holiday or Mike Conley, where you stay in the league and you keep a contract for a long time.
Yes, sir. And we had two really good points. One of them says, I think Bronny James spends another year at USC, as they will be in the Big Ten next season. I think he stays regardless, even if they weren't making that move. Of course, that makes a lot more sense for him, but I think he should. I wouldn't be surprised or shocked or upset if he's a 4-year starter and just develops and then ultimately goes and gets on with a team at that point. Likely 3 years, but nonetheless.
Speaking of NCAA.
One more comment. Got to give him a chance to find himself and his game, not Bronze. Absolutely. That's
a great point.
Absolutely. The expectation cannot be for him to be his dad. He's got to go and be Bronny. One more for a big deal, no thing. South Carolina men's head coach and South Carolina women's head basketball coach both win Coach of the Year. Big deal? No thing.
Big deal.
That's a big deal.
I say it again.
That's a big deal.
And first of all, we got to give a huge shout out. In case you missed it, both coaches for the Gamecocks have won their respective Coaching of the Years. First, actually only the third time in history that two coaches from the same school have won Coach of the Year in the same year for the SEC. So definitely proud of that. Got to swing back real quick. Says, I love you, dog, and you're making a great point, but I'm obligated to add that David Tepper sucks as an owner, label, and crew. Shout out to Bright. I'm with you when you're right, my boy. I appreciate all the hate, because when we win the Super Bowl in 3 years, I'm going to be remembering all of this. But as we talk about it, tell me why you think it's a big deal, other than the very
at this point,
reasons.
The pod should be late night. But no, it's a big deal. Definitely. We'll talk about it in a minute. But really, Dawn, first and foremost, stepping in to this season with the expectations that they had coming off of that, everything from last season, and not really bringing everything home. and delivering. For them to have the statement that they had this season, it speaks for itself. And then we'll speak about it soon from their game. But everything that she does outside of the X's and O's and outside of the play that's on the court, it just goes and supports to, you know what I mean, that she's the right person to be leading these young women down there in Columbia. Now, when they talk about the male coach, you just remember like high school days, when I was actually on the team, or like college days. Again, I just came back from CIAA, and right before CIAA, our Claflin came up and played Johnson C. Smith. And so I got to, Claflin's alumni chapter, we always feed the team because that's normally their last road game before they go up to Baltimore for the tournament. So we got an opportunity to see the camaraderie between both the girls and the boys team. And of course, like how close the coaches are and stuff like that when you're talking about game plans and schemes or recruiting, whatever it is at that level. It's just impressive when a marquee team like the Lady Gamecocks brings up the level of play and stuff like that with the guys. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And I think for me, everything that you said was very well said, but also the fact that Lamont Paris in his second year, last year, there was a lot of expectations because he had the pedigree that he had, coupled with Gigi being a part of that squad and converting him from North Carolina. And they didn't necessarily see the success that many had anticipated. And so there were some buzzes early on that, oh, he's not the right coach. We got to get rid of him. And so in his second season, him to dominate so much of the SEC, including the win that they just had today over, not Auburn, because they play Auburn tomorrow, over the Razorbacks of Arkansas, 80-66. He's showing that, no, I was their guy. And as such, they've rewarded him. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and give him an I got money. They have, based on his performance this year, signed him for a new contract already. And his extension, essentially a 6-year deal worth, at this point, if the internet will work for me, I think it was like 86 million more. If I'm not mistaken, but nonetheless, says the details have not been. But one report that I heard said about 86 additional $1 million to his already lucrative contract. So big deal. My man is doing his thing. And like so many have said, and Deke said in the comments, he's a good coach. So shout out to him. Now, as we stay on college basketball, I got a moment of like personal, deeply heartfelt privilege to be able to announce to you that your Clinton College Golden Bears are the NCCAA South Regional Champions and will head off this Monday to the national tournament to hopefully make it back to a championship game. This is their third conference championship in the last 5 years. This is their second time going to the national tournament. Last year, they fell just short in the national championship. This year, we're hoping that they go all the way. So I got to give a shout out once more for the Clinton College Golden Bears.
NCAA champions.
Yeah. There are two particular players on the squad. One is Isaiah Stone, a 6'7" senior forward from Bronx, New York, who made second team all conference.
Now it's all making sense.
And then our 6'4" shooting guard, Mr. Cameron Shannon from York, South Carolina, who is also a senior.
I'll give y'all that.
But he was a first team All-American, conference player of the year. So
country fellas could hoop now.
Listen, and they dogs on the court, man. And even like our point guard, man, he's the shortest guy out there. I think he might be like 5'10", 5'11", but he balls. And his defense, his defense has been intense, and he's been stepping it up through postseason play. And I think he had 6 steals in the championship game, all of which directly led into points. And so the Clinton squad is looking tremendous, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do in Indianapolis next week. So one more time, shout out to the Clinton College Golden Bears.
Truly love like mid-majors and small schools, like their athletic programs, because the opportunity is written all over some of those guys' face. Like they don't take it for granted, and a lot of those guys is like super, super hungry. Never was really that guy in high school a lot of times, or if they were, they might have had some missteps where their offers and stuff got messed up or whatever. But yeah, the hunger that's at that level and at like the mid majors level where you don't always get the exposure, the national exposure of your ESPNs and stuff like that. Yeah, I and I'm definitely a fan. And congratulations, Slayton Lee.
Now, as we are continuing to why can't I talk tonight?
I don't know.
As we are continuing, because you know what? Because I ain't ate today. That's what it is. As we continue to congratulate teams that are winning. Sheesh. Shout out to the Tar Heels of North Carolina for their impressive win over the Florida State Seminoles, 92-67. Shout out to the Heels. They will face the number 4 seed in the ACC tournament, the Pittsburgh. What are they? The Pitts, not Pirates. What is the Pitt?
Pitt.
They face some Pitt.
I feel like that they're like
the
Cougars
Panthers
or something. Yeah, Panthers.
Pitt's Panthers. So they'll face them out there as well. Any other shout outs you want to give? Oh, I definitely got to give a shout out.
COC.
College of Charleston.
Absolutely.
Shout out to the College of Charleston. I know they won.
SoCon, I believe. And they'll be going to the big dance. Also, just I think this is one of the beautiful times to be Carolina Sports Talk because we end up having so much of our basketball talent, getting the spotlight on them. So certainly, yeah, NC State looks like that they may pull this one out against Duke.
Oh man, for us to win and them to suck, man, them to lose. Let's go.
Yeah, I was in DC the night that we played Duke or whatnot and won. So that was good. When I say we, I mean UNC. If y'all didn't know, but yeah, that's kind of my big ups to the men's side of things. I did want to ask you something. If this is a big deal, like where you would congratulate. So on this one, on this one, if it's a big deal, you go ahead and give the congratulations, and if it's not, give the whatever you give, either wah, 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 or whatever you choose. Caitlin Clark recently. Yo, what's wrong with this guy?
Yeah, it's automatic, man. No, come on in,
please, bro. Because please. I want.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, it's a legend that's just walked in the building, man. Go ahead. Yeah, put him over.
Yeah, my mentor. We talk about him all the time. He's made an appearance on the audio, but the one and only Mixed Master T, fresh from work. But we wanted to ask you if you want to stay off camera, you can. But we wanted to. I'm glad we got you here. I just wanted to ask you before we continue on with Caitlin Clark, the Patriots moves. What's your thoughts? Any optimism for the upcoming season? You can grab the mic.
Well, really, right now it's open book right now. I don't have any type of expectations. Need a little time to see. What Coach Mayo is going to do.
Right.
It's just at this particular time, it's just, like I said, pretty much for me, open book.
Got you. Cliff asked me this question earlier, a little tough question right on the spot about Carolina, but I'll ask you this about the quarterback. What does the quarterback that y'all need right now, what does he look like as far as whether it's physically or any type of intangible attributes? What does the quarterback look like that the Patriots need?
Again,
it's a journey.
It's hard to say, you know what I'm saying? Because I know Mayo as a player, I know he was a great player, but a lot of times great players don't translate to great coaches, I'm wishing the best for him. I think he's going to do some things, and you got to understand too. I've been a Patriot fan since '72, but the Belichick regime was like 20 years.
Yeah. Exactly. That's kind of what you got used to.
And it's going to change.
Yeah.
I'm accustomed to the way Bill do things.
Yeah.
Bill ain't doing things this year.
Now, during training season, I gotta get you to verbally commit while you're on here, but we need to have you back on. I know that you're kind of in a rush and you look like you're back, but we need to have you sit down with us, maybe.
Not a problem.
Pour a beer, nice tumbler, and I got no issues and all of that.
I can definitely do that.
Yeah, that'll be dope.
All right, one more time for me.
Yeah, man, definitely, man.
We appreciate you, family. Yes, sir.
Good.
So, all right, shout out to Nephew Jones. Right before we get out of here, Amy's comment talking about the LSU Tigers. We did fail to mention.
I was about to.
Yeah. So we'll matter of fact, I'll yield the floor. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, a lot of people were at this fight in that SEC title game broke out. But before I try. But before that, there was a ill game with South Carolina beating who by the buzzer beater? Was that Tennessee? Cardosa getting a buzzer beater. It's like she hit a 3, and then they said in the next game she hit a 4.
No, that one.
So for those that don't know,
one, you get you'll get a laugh.
They really
track for
said
that
online.
one.
They said she dropped the 4.
Yeah,
but for those that don't know, during the title game for the SEC championship, LSU playing South Carolina Gamecocks. Toward the end of the game was kind of decidedly in hand, and a little skirmish broke out. So what happened? What I saw happen beforehand, I saw Flau'jae. She caught one of the Gamecocks with a nice crossover earlier in the game, finished, and then this particular play coming back up the court, Flau'jae, there was a steal. On the Gamecock side, I want to say. Yeah,
essentially there was a dead ball whistle. They were going to timeout. There was a little skirmish. Flau'jae ended up pushing one of the other players. Your girl, Cardosa took offense to that and pushed her. A scuffle broke out, including Flau'jae's brother and several other several other fans trying to get onto the court. He was the only one that was able to get there, and then got down and realized how big that young lady was and was like, "Nah, I'm good." Right. But nonetheless, still got arrested and is facing charges as a result as well.
Yeah. They said the next season, Flau'jae brother gonna be Juwanna Man the next time they play South Carolina.
I mean, oh my goodness. But ultimately, for me, it's been a weekend because it literally was the emotions of that dynamic shot that she hit to win the game for them, especially off of the week. I don't know if you saw it and caught it on social media. The team, Dawn and the team, flew her mother and sister out from her home country just to have the chance to be with her and spend some time with her. And so for her to have hit that shot, only her first ever as a senior 3-pointer, and only the second time she's even taken a 3-point shot, was tremendous. And then turn around from that and then have the brawl there, followed by the next day, a brawl almost at the Clinton game that I alluded to.
Now, real quick, I'm sorry, but before we go to the Clinton game, just really quickly to tie up that Carolina situation, Kim Mulkey and Dawn Staley both handled those 2 different ways as well. Dawn with definitely with class toward the end of the game alluded to the fact that Flau'jae came up to her and the team apologized and really reiterated and kind of just stated that, hey, this is not a bad girl. Dawn knows from being Dawn Staley and running around with Cheryl Swoops, Cynthia Cooper, Lisa Leslie, she knows how your image means a lot to you, especially in this women's game. And she protected Flau'jae's image. Kim did not do the same for her players, I don't think, as far as protecting their image, if you will. Like, granted, she gassed it a little bit, or a lot of it. Those that don't know, Kim said, I bet you she wouldn't have shoved Angel had that been Angel Reese. I bet you she wouldn't have shoved her.
Here's my take on it. I had 0% problem with what she said. I didn't have any issue with it because had it been the other way around, we would have very likely have been saying a lot of that stuff. Now, the only thing that I don't have a problem with her saying it, I do disagree because had it been Angel Reese, it probably wouldn't have been a shove. It might have been some hands because Cardosa was sick of it. There's been video evidence afterwards, the whole game, the hair pull, the shoving, the tripping. And so had it been Angel Reese, no, she wouldn't have pushed her like that. She probably would have laid her down with just a straight whop, whop, and not just been suspended for 1 game, but potentially not.
And I've watched Angel all season. Angel moves around like she has $1 million NIL deals. So You know what I'm saying? She moves around appropriately. I like what A-Liz said. And A-Liz, I did see when you posted that live as well, and I had a nice chuckle. But Kim definitely runs that team like Birdie from above the rim, because once the game was out of hand, she made a little signal on the side. Next thing you know what I'm saying? Oh, no, whatever. But yeah, go ahead. Now, at Clinton, please share, brother.
So, and this is Carolina Sports Talk. This is your man, Big Cliff, sitting in with my dog, DJ High Star. We are just about to get out of here, but this is my nothing to do with sports that definitely has to do with sports. So we're at Clinton College, first round or semifinal round playoff game, getting ready to go into the conference championship finals the next night, which they won. And the coach from the school, which shall remain nameless because I'm not going to put him on blast, he regular season came and had some issues. We get to the game. He's apparently on the same stuff he's on, just talking and popping the noise. And anybody who knows me knows that I'm a great guy. I don't really too much like the drama. I don't like a whole lot of rah, shish, boom, bah. But this particular coach felt like he wanted to pull it out of me. And so literally, the first 3 minutes of the game, he's running his mouth. Myself and the shot clock operator, an alum of Clinton, and former basketball player. He says the wrong thing, and apparently my guy wasn't having it. They have words, and a little kerfuffle breaks out that ends up with, as our head coach Corey Sloan said, first time ever having a scorekeeper award 2 points as he was tossed out of the game. The coach received a technical foul, and then our team hit the 2 shots and went on ultimately to win the game. So it's just been a week of basketball, man, and I'm excited to see what the NCAA tournament looks like. I'm excited to see what the Clinton Bears do with their tournament appearance. Mm-hmm. I want to give one more shout out to a high school player who will next year be playing her college ball. Shout out to Victoria Star Morris, the 6'4" conference player of the year, region player of the year, and she will be playing her basketball at North Carolina Central next year. So nice. Shout out to Star, man. I'm excited to see that young lady continue her basketball career as she the truth. She's like that. So shout out to Star. Well, that's going to do it, bro. We've been in here long enough, man. Anything you want to holler at the people before we get up out of here, bro? I
guess you could say it's been a month of March Madness. Yo, yeah, you're corny for trying to cut the legs out of under me. Let's cut it out. Hey, on that note, I'm turning off my camera. I'll see y'all later, man.
Where the elbow?
Where the elbow?
Hey, so this is Carolina Sports Talk. We are getting up out of here, man. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. You really turned your camera off, too. Man, guess what? Spotlight. We appreciate you for tuning in on your favorite podcast app. Next time, tell your smart speaker, play Carolina Sports Talk. You can hit us up on the Carolina Sports Talk line, Cliff at carolinasportstalk.net to be a part of the show. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all of that. Until next time, folks, we out. Peace.